bring in the chairman of the American Conservative Union, Matt Schlapp, and Marie Harf, a former State Department and CIA spokesperson and a Fox News analyst. Matt, I bet your girls are having a snow day, but you don't get any such thing. You have to come in to see us. Take a listen.
You made me work, Dana.
Oh, yeah, we make you work. That's right. I want you to listen to Senator Cornyn about the background check bill. Listen.
We just got our 78th bipartisan co-sponsor. Senator McCaskill joined, and I'm thankful to her and everybody who's supported it. It is a common sense bill that does enjoy broad bipartisan support and will actually save lives. We haven't gotten final word on it, but I remain hopeful, and I can't imagine why anybody would oppose including it in the omnibus, but we don't have a final word yet.
It's almost hard to get 78 members of the Senate to sign on to a Mother's Day resolution. So this shows there's big bipartisan support. But, Matt, I wanted to get your... There's rumor out there that the bill that the House Republicans really wanted, the reciprocity bill for concealed carry, might not be in this omnibus. How will that go over?
Well, I think the president actually talked about that in the roundtable he had at the White House. Obviously, there's a lot of focus on what we do with our regulations on who can buy a gun in this country. And I don't think the omnibus is going to end that conversation. I think it's going to keep going, and I think that's a good thing. And I do think reciprocity, the right to conceal and carry or to carry, is an important issue as we talk about security in our communities, and we're going to keep having that conversation.
Yep. Marie, do you think the Democrats will be at least supportive? I mean, of 78 co-sponsors, that's pretty good. It might not be everything that they want, but is this something they could celebrate?
Well, I think it's a good first step, certainly, and you're right. 78 senators signing on to anything is very difficult. But take a step back here. This omnibus spending deal is not a done deal yet. There are reports out that President Trump is having second thoughts, that on the Hill they're having emergency meetings to try and make sure that the president will actually sign this. So there are some questions about whether this will actually get done. Let me
jump in there, because President Trump apparently, this is according to the Washington Post, Bob Costa, he wrote that Trump is telling associates today that the GOP owes him the wall, especially after he raises them money, plus tax cut, Gorsuch, etc., per a person close to the president. And, Matt, I could understand his frustration when he wanted about $25 billion for border security, and in the bill as it stands right now, it's $1.6 billion. Reports that it's possible Speaker Paul Ryan will have to go up to the White House and try to explain how this makes sense to the president.
Well, I think I have a different perspective, which is I think it is a massive achievement to get the Democrats to go along with funding for a wall. They have said this was a line in this, certainly not without getting some action on DACA, on the DACA folks, and that's not in this bill. So, you know, the idea that Democrats are actually going to, or at least a good handful of them are going to support a bill that actually has funding for a wall, not for security, not for a fence, but for construction of something like over almost 150 miles of wall, is an amazing step. And I think the president needs to consider how big a political victory that is, if that is indeed in the bill.
And in some ways, Marie, I guess both sides could just be for what's going to happen. It's not going to be $25 billion. There is going to be border security. The president's going to call it for the wall, and Democrats might want to call it something else. But at this point, should the Democrats just go for it?
Well, I've said for a long time that Democrats should accept some funding for the wall, as much as I hate the policy, because Donald Trump won the presidency, and he has made clear that's something he wants to do. I also remember when he promised us Mexico would pay for it. So the fact that U.S. taxpayers are paying for it now is a little disturbing to me. But in exchange for that, Democrats have to keep pushing on DACA. And the president has shown at times that he's been open to that exchange, part of wall funding for DACA. The Democrats have put on the table what I think is a very reasonable proposal on DACA, and we really need to get this done. I am a little disappointed that it's not, I don't think DACA is going to be solved in the omnibus.
I haven't seen their proposal. I actually have not seen the Democrats' proposal. I've seen the president's proposal, and I think the fact that the Democrats would actually go along with wall funding without DACA, it does show you that for some reason the Democrats are leaving them behind in the negotiations. Do they want it as a political issue, or do they want to solve it?
Well,
That is
unfortunately,
certainly
Matt,
one way
we
to
don't
look at it.
Well, Matt, unfortunately, as much as I wish Democrats controlled Congress, we don't, and we don't have the White House. So
Do you not
there
have,
are compromises
I'm sorry,
we have to make.
I keep forgetting this. Do we have 60 Republican votes in the Senate, even with Susan? I don't think so. It's a nice talking point, but it doesn't reflect
true.
reality. As you know, in the Senate, you need a supermajority
You know what I'm
to
gonna
control
do?
the Senate.
I'm going to let you guys head to the green room in Washington, in the D.C. bureau, and you can finish arguing about that one. But I love